only when we truly know and understand we have limited time on earth, and we have no way of knowing when our time is up, that we will begin to live each day to the fullest, as if it were the only one we have. "20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things that you didn't do than by the ones you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream, discover. The purpose of life, after all, is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for a newer and richer experience. To those who stay put, the world is but an imaginary place. But to the movers, the makers, and the shakers, the world is all around, an endless invitation. So the only question left to ask yourself is, where should you go now?"
Hey everyone! Welcome to the Yep Daily, guys. It is so awesome to be with you. Happy Tuesday. You know, we have so many amazing things, so many fun things coming up with Yep, the Yep to Freedom Tour. We just came off an amazing challenge. We have convention coming up. So how do you just move forward and get to these pivotal points in your business? How do we do it? How do we do it? How do you actually get yourself disciplined enough to sit down and get yourself in front of your computer, in front of your cell phone, in front of different people? So good morning to everyone. I'm going to answer these questions for you. It is so awesome to see some good morning messages coming in. My name is Gina, and I am so grateful to be a part of this community. I've been a part of this community since 2019, October of 2019. And it has been one of the most amazing rides that I have been on. I have learned so much about business, about networking, and about myself. And so now my heart, all that I want to do is help more people and find that success and find that excitement. So we're going to talk about how to never run out of prospects. Now you might be like, okay, I don't know that many people. Obviously, Gina, you must know a lot of people. So I honestly don't know that many people. I live in York, Pennsylvania. I've lived here for 6 years. That's it. And I didn't grow up here. Before that, I lived in California. And before that, I grew up in Northeast Pennsylvania. So I don't know a ton of people. So let me tell you how I do it. And it can be overwhelming at first. And the first knee-jerk reaction is that you want to go to your family and friends, right? Come on, join this business with me. You're going to love it. Do this. We could make $1 million together. And what happens when you go to your family and friends? A lot of times they roll their eyes at you. They get frustrated at you. They try to talk you out of it. I left teaching 4 years ago, and I was teaching elementary school for 13 years. And when I decided to leave teaching, I had a lot of people say, "Are you crazy? You're leaving job security. You're leaving a 401k. You're leaving, great health insurance." So I realized at that point that those people who are closest to me sometimes are not the people that I want to do business with. So that leads you to, who do you go to? Who do you go to? So I am a big fan of social media, but I'm also a huge fan of non-social media. So you don't have to be an extreme extrovert to find some people when you are out and about. So let's talk social media first, okay? Social media is, we're all pretty comfortable when we flip that computer screen up, or we're all pretty comfortable when we have that phone in front of us, right? Or your iPad. So how do you find people on social media without spamming everyone? One thing you want to stay away from completely is posting on your timeline. How many of you have, and maybe this is you a little bit and you don't have to put this in the chat, but maybe or it's you or somebody that all they do is post on their timeline all about their business, how they're doing in business, how their mentors are doing business, how their products are life-changing. They're showing before and after pictures. They're showing this or that. And what do you do when you see people and that's all they have on their profile? Well, I kind of feel like they don't have any depth to them. I kind of feel like I can't have a normal conversation with them. I kind of feel like that them and me, we have nothing in common. So those are the people I usually stay away from. Those are the people that I don't even give it 2 looks. I just keep going. So how do you do it? Do you post it in your stories? Okay, so I want to tell you what I do. I am all about mystery. Mystery. Yes, I have on my profile founding member. Yep, motivational speaker, business developer, but nobody knows exactly what that is. So what does just building a mystery attracts people to you. Just building a mystery allows people to come ask you. I've had a lot of people send me messages or message requests because they've seen me in different areas of the platform asking me, what's Yep? What's Yep? Is that, you find like references or what is Yep? And that allows me just right there to explain. But if I were to put a definition of Yep on my timeline or in my bio, that's going to allow people to read it themselves and make their own decision up from what they understand or don't understand. And you don't want to do that. You want to attract people to you. Think about when you meet somebody, what's one of the first things you do? You creep on their Facebook. I am working with a lawyer right now very closely. And when I got this lawyer, one of the first things I did was went to his Facebook and just started looking into it. I wanted to see, is this a family man? Is this someone that, has a good reputation? I wanted to see and make sure the person that I'm going to be working with, the person that's going to be helping me fight a battle, is going to help me, and that's going to be someone that I like. So same thing for you. When you have someone, that's talking to you, or you meet someone, what's the first thing that they do? They're going to look at your timeline. It's like your magazine. What did they see? Did they want to close it, or do they want to keep searching, flipping the pages? Do they see a mystery where they're like, I'm not quite sure what she does, but I'm that curious that I want to know, or I'm that nosy that I want to know. I also have had people say to me, good move. I know what you're doing. I know that you want people to come ask you, so I'm going to fall into it. What is it that you do? What is Yep? So just right there on a social media platform, if you are building a mystery just in your bio, just the bio, I mean, we haven't even hit anything else, just the bio, you're building a mystery that people are going to want to come and talk to you. Now let's talk about your timeline. What are you posting? I like to try to post things twice a day. I like to try to post in the morning, and I like to try to post at night. Now, I was huge into my lives, huge into lives. Secrets from a mompreneur. I'm coming at you, giving you my tips, tricks, hacks, everything. I got away from it for a little bit. Sometimes life gets in the way, but I'm coming back to it. So why do I put lives out there? And what are my lives about? Well, my lives are always giving value, always giving value. Am I talking about my business? No, I'm talking about maybe experiences in my business, but I never mention my business. But I'm constantly giving value out to people that now they're constantly wanting to know, what's her tip today? What's her trick? What's her hack? How is she being a mama and being successful in an entrepreneurial world? So just by giving value, people want value. And when people watch my lives, they get that like, know, and trust. They like my personality. They're getting to know me, who I am. I might have a dog barking in the background. I might have a 5-year-old saying, is it snack time yet? And that's okay, because you know what? People are seeing the real me, and they're also relating to me. Oh, she can do a live with the doorbell ringing. She can do a live with background noise. She can do a live. Yesterday I did a live and like my phone fell. She's normal. So they're liking me, they're getting to know me, and they're finding that common ground where they're trusting me. So I really want to encourage you guys to do lives. You will have random people watching your lives and messaging you that you had no idea were even interested remotely of what you do. And they might even start asking, so what is it exactly what you do? I mean, I see you giving value, but what do you do? So just lives. Let's talk about stories. Stories are great because they're only up for 24 hours, okay? So in the middle of my stories, I like to drop in little seeds. Drop in little seeds. A few months ago, some of you experienced this with me. I hit a major rank of Sapphire, and I went and bought myself a Louis Vuitton. That was on my vision board, and everybody knew once I hit Sapphire, I was buying my Louis Vuitton. I was so excited. It was something from me, and that's okay. So what did I do? When I went to go buy my Louis Vuitton, I made it like a mystery. Hey, guess where I'm going today? Here's another hint. Oh, look, I'm in a mall. What do you think it is? How could I be this excited? I got the Louis Vuitton. I took pictures with the Louis Vuitton. I shared how I got it. So many people asked, okay, that's a big purse. That must have been expensive. And the questions started rolling in. I didn't have to say, hey, I hit Sapphire. Sapphire means nothing to people who are not in our world. It means nothing to people who don't understand the entrepreneurial world, but they see maybe something they want. Maybe you're going on a trip and you're explaining and you're showing your trip and you're building a mystery and you're telling everything about your trip. 2 years ago, I couldn't go on this trip. I didn't have the money. I decided to put my nose to the grind, and I didn't stop till I got this trip. And guess what? I got this trip and it didn't cost me a dime. This is how it works. Or I could barely scrape $300 together, and here's a $3,000 trip that I just took. How'd I do it? They want to see your rags to riches story. They want to see when you are on top of the world and when you're at the bottom in the valley. And they want to see you climb out, and they want to see your success. So stories is a great way to show. If you're uncomfortable doing stories, start with some motivational quotes, start with some pictures and put a sticker with it, maybe some words, and then start with turning the camera around. Talk to the camera for 15 seconds. That's it. That's it. It's that quick. Don't delete it. Don't rewatch it. Just post it. And then if you stay consistent, more people are going to watch you. More people are going to want to know. Figure out who you are. Figure out what your main purpose is in this life. I am Secrets from a Mompreneur, but then there's something else about me. I love giving. I love caring. I love paying it forward. So what I do and what I'm doing is called a blessings project. I'm taking everything off of myself and I want to bless other people. So how do you do that? And just by doing that, more people are going to be watching what you're doing. Make yourself public. Make yourself known. Share your life. Be relatable. Watch people follow you. And then if they're looking to do something, if they're looking to be an entrepreneur, if they're looking for $200 extra a month, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call you. They're going to want to do business with you. So that's just your timeline. The other thing, and I spoke about this in leadership last night, is groups. There's millions and billions of Facebook groups. Right now, we're getting ready for the Yep to Freedom tour. August 7th is Philadelphia. I'm an hour and a half right from that area where we're going to be. So you know what I'm doing? You know what I just did? I just did an IPA. For anyone on my team that wanted to jump on, 30 minutes, power IPA, where we're just focused. And you know what I did? I went through Philadelphia groups. I went through all the networking groups in Philadelphia. Then I went even smaller to the actual place where we're meeting in Plymouth meeting. And I put networking groups in Plymouth meeting, networking groups in Philadelphia, outskirts. And then I started to research the outskirts of Philadelphia and what's the surrounding areas around there. And then I'm going to go in there. And then once I got in the groups, I put, hey, anyone, any entrepreneurs in Plymouth meeting? Any entrepreneurs in the Philadelphia area? So now I'm going to get some yeses, and then I'm going to start making conversations and building the relationship. Same thing with LinkedIn. We have an amazing LinkedIn tool that you can be using. Find those people in the Philadelphia area, the Phoenix area, the Tampa area. Find those people. You might not be physically at that event, but that doesn't mean you can't grow your team there. You can absolutely. So there is a lot of ways that you can work your social media. There's a lot of ways. And you know what the most amazing thing is? It only takes a little bit of time. A little bit of time. And then there's this thing called copy and paste, that you can copy and paste that same message to tons of people. Change the name, maybe change a wording, maybe do a little bit at a time so you don't get in Facebook jail. I've visited it many times. I've had residency in Facebook jail many times, and it's not fun. So try that. Take that time block your time during the day, just that little bit of time, and say, okay, I'm going to get into some Philadelphia groups, Tampa groups, Phoenix groups. Now I'm going to send messages for this next 30 minutes. It's just messages to all these people who might have responded to my post. So what does it look like to come off of social media? What does it look like to step away from the screen and be in real life, real time? What does it look like? I tell everybody that if you are a network marketer, affiliate marketer, any type of entrepreneur, you are a professional friend maker. You're a professional friend maker. So what does it mean? Everywhere you go, you're a friend maker. And everywhere you go, you have the opportunity to leave a lasting impression. Now you could leave a really nasty impression, like if somebody cuts you in line, if somebody does you wrong in a store, if somebody cuts you off. How do you want to be known as? You really want to shy away from road rage, parking lot rage, shopping cart rage, anything like that. You want to stay away from that because you never know who's going to come across your path again, and you don't want to burn that bridge. So what do? How do you start a conversation? Well, one thing is you are a professional eavesdropper. Something that, when we were younger, we were, told over and over, you are not an eavesdropper. You don't listen in on conversations. You mind your own business. Well, I'm giving you an exception to the rule. It's time to break that rule. Now, being a professional eavesdropper doesn't mean that you've got, a glass up to your ear and you're, next to a wall. It means you are aware of conversations that are around you. There have been times where I am at a restaurant and I'm waiting to sit down, and there might be a long wait, and I'm waiting to sit down, and I hear someone talking about money, or I hear someone hating their job, or I hear somebody that's frustrated. So what do? How do you get yourself from just hearing to being in the conversation? You simply say, excuse me, oh my gosh, I totally did not mean to listen in on your conversation, but I just can't help myself. And then you start in on a conversation. I always kind of do it in a laughing way, like, please don't judge me. I was not trying to listen, but I can't help but overhear you say this. I can't help but tell you, I've felt that way before. I was that person before. I would love to share with you how I went from where you are to where I am now. Example, of course, if that's okay. I always ask permission. I always want to say, of course, if that's okay with you. Some people are going to be like, no, mind your own business. Okay, no problem. Thick skin, moving on. And some people are going to be like, oh, okay. And maybe you don't have time to dive in there. So what do? You take out your phone and you open up to Facebook. You're on Facebook? Hey, could you find yourself? They find themselves. You friend request them. I take a screenshot because by the time I'm done eating, I won't remember their name. And then I message them later that evening. Now, in the meantime, I've accepted their friend request and they've probably already looked at my profile. So see how it comes full circle on and off social media? Just like that, full circle. So that's just eavesdropping. The other way that I talk to people nonstop is just having conversations, random conversations with a waitress or a waiter. How long have you been doing this? You're fantastic at this. I'm guessing you are an extrovert. You must love talking to people. Is this your full-time job? So are you saving up for something, or is this a stepping stone to where you want to go? Waiters and waitresses work their booties off so you can be talking to them and having conversations with them. Or the person at the register who's ringing you out. Have a conversation with them, especially if you're doing a return, you're going to be there for a little bit. Have a conversation with them. Or the person in front of you in line that, you're both standing in line. You're both waiting your turn. You got a cart full of groceries. You might as well just talk to someone and just sitting there instead of just sitting there on your phone with your head down, and you're missing out on all these people around you. See, the biggest mistake is we think that it's just social media that's going to grow our team. We think that it's just the people that we're typing to. No, there's a lot of people right next to us, but you have to get your head up. You have to make eye contact. You have to smile, and you have to open your mouth and have some conversations with them. Some conversations that I start are literally about shoes, what's in their cart. Oh my gosh, can you believe it's so hot outside? So do you like winter or do you like summer? Just random conversations. And then sometimes it's practice. Sometimes it doesn't get you anywhere, but it's practice. But then sometimes it gets you a little further and you're like, oh my gosh, I really enjoy talking to you. Are you on Facebook? Sometimes Sophia, my daughter, who's 5, does the work for me. We went to a movie. She found a little friend that was her age. They started playing in line to get tickets, wound up being in the same theater. They decided they want to sit next to each other. So I had to talk to the mom. And I just sat there and talked to her for about 25 minutes before the movie started. Found her on Facebook. Playdate. It's that easy. But you have to be okay if somebody says no, or if somebody, rolls their eyes or just ignores you. You have to be okay with that, because you have to have that thick skin saying, no big deal. Maybe they're not ready. Maybe they're going through something. Maybe they're not someone that I want to work with. So what do? You pick your head up and you go to the next person. It's that simple. You just keep going. There are people that make it to the top. There are people that are, enrolling machines. There are people that lead huge teams. They don't just sit on the sideline watching everyone else do it. They get in and do it too. They go in the dirt. They go in the mud. They go in the rain. Whatever it takes, they do it. Those people are not just sitting behind a computer all day. I have been on teams where people so high up say that they used to go hang out at the mall, or they created their own event, or they're constantly, going to somewhere where they need customer service. And they're honestly doing it just so they can flip it around and say, you were amazing. Thank you so much. I bet you would be awesome at what I do. So there are a lot of different ways that you can flip the script. Don't just limit yourself to being on social media, and don't just limit yourself to being out in public. It goes hand in hand, and you have to do both. You have to do both, and you have to be excited about what you do. People can hear your excitement in a text message. People can hear your excitement out in public. People can hear your excitement when you're leaving a voice message. Show your excitement. This Yep to Freedom tour is huge, guys. This is August. This is your last chance to just push through this summer and beat the odds. This is a huge chance for you. We have a tour in Philly, in Phoenix, in Tampa. We've got 3 different places. How are you going to make a difference? How is your team going to grow? Or are you just going to sit back and watch and say, well, I don't know anyone in that area, so I'll just wait till they come to my area. You're never going to get anywhere unless you just push through that uncomfortable feeling that I don't want to do this. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to talk to someone. I don't want to eavesdrop. Unless you push through that, you're never going to beat the odds. You're never going to just walk across that stage because you're always going to be holding yourself back. So from someone who does not know a lot of people here, and where I live is known for a place that anyone, if you didn't grow up here, it's really hard to break through. 6 years, and I'm finally starting to break through into groups of people. So don't say, I don't know anyone. Yes, you do. You just got to go out there and know some people. And that's taking the first step on social media and off of social media. The choice is yours. So focus. Yep to Freedom Tour. Put it on a piece of paper. Label it around Philly, Tampa, Phoenix. Label it. Go into Facebook. Find who are your friends in those areas. Go into LinkedIn. Who are your friends in those areas? Instagram. Who are your friends in those areas? Clubhouse. Whatever. And then go in public and start talking to people. We live in a time where everything is expensive right now. Gas prices are going up. Food prices are going up. Who doesn't want more money? Who doesn't want to alleviate some stress? You have the solution in your hand, and some people will reach out and take that solution, and some people will say, nope, not for me, and that's okay. But you do your part on social media and off. All right, guys, that's your Yep Daily for today. I hope that you have the most amazing, beautiful day.